best friend. Go best friend, that's my best friend. That's my best friend. Go best friend, that's my best friend. Go best friend, that's my best friend. That's my best friend. That's my best friend. To the end, me and you, ooh. If you spend, then I spend all on you, ooh. You just say the word and we gon' run it up. You're number one and it's don't run up. Don't matter if your birthday's coming up, I'm still gon' get you those little gifts and it's not even about.
Hey besties, welcome back to Stitching with Your Besties. I'm Tracy and I'm so thankful you're here today. It's been a while. I'm coming at you as a second try. So on January 6th, I started a video, actually finished a video of 50 minutes. And when I was done with the video and I went around to collect my phone had turned itself off because it was full. I have you on my back camera, which is the best camera on the iPhone, not the front selfie camera, but on the back, so I couldn't tell. And I sat here for 50 minutes recording a video, and I'll show you a little bit of that. Welcome, besties. Thank you for coming back to Stitching with Your Besties. I'm Tracy, and I'm glad to see you in 2026. Today is January 6th, and I wanted to get a video out today. So first of all, I had to clean up my phone. I could not do anything. I could not even airdrop that 50-minute video. Well, it wasn't 50 minutes. It had shut itself off. But I couldn't do anything other than start deleting videos, start deleting photos, go into my messages and start deleting old messages. And I had messages in there from when my mom was dying, and I hadn't been able to go back and read them. So of course it took me down a spiral, and I saved some of those messages because they were so sweet, or they had photos on them, so I would save those photos, make sure I have them. I know I have them all. I probably have them 5 or 6 times on my backup drive, but it took me down a spiral, and it's now 9 days later, and I feel like I can come back and try and recreate that video because I've already taped. I'm hoping that it comes naturally versus me reading. A lot of times when I state something, or I tell a story, or I chat, it's almost like a release for me. I think, okay, well, did I say that? Have I said that already? Have I not said that? So I'm hoping that, I can produce kind of the same thing, talk about the same things that I was talking about in the last video 9 days ago, and we can have a good time together. So I absolutely love you guys watching and joining me, and I would love it if you would subscribe, and I also would love it if we could have conversations. So if there's anything here that I show you, that you have any questions about, please let me know and I will respond and get you that information. So appreciate you being here. So welcome to 2026. This is video number 14 for me. And it's been so far a quiet January. Our January will ramp up at the end of January, and I'll tell you why shortly. But it's been nice. We've had some minor weather, just kind of normal Georgia, in some cases high 72, in some cases only high 50. And today I woke up to 21 degrees with a wind chill of 15. So it's cold here. Us Georgians here in the United States of America are south. We're right above Florida, for those of you that are watching across the pond somewhere. So we're in the southern portion of the United States, and we have mild 4 seasons. So when it gets that cold, we're not quite equipped for it. Luckily, we had no precip. It's a beautiful, bright, sunny day. So everybody's off, bundled up here in Georgia. So things that are going on in my life, just watching a lot of shows with hubby. We're trying to get back into the track of finding something interesting to watch. We just finished 11/22/63. That is on Netflix, and that is Stephen King's book, 11/22/63. I follow someone on social media, and her favorite author is Stephen King, and I am not into torture. I'm not into gore. It's too much for my soul. I have to just I guess put it out that way. I don't like someone hurting. So when she said, if you don't like Stephen King and you're like Misery, I remember watching Misery, the show Misery, and I'm thinking, oh my gosh, it's just evil what people can do to other people. And I can't deal with that well. So when she said she wanted, her fans, her followers, to read a Stephen King, she suggested 11/22/63. And it is the date that JFK was assassinated in our nation here in America. So I absolutely loved the book. Hubby and I started watching the mini-series, it's actually one season series. Netflix took it away. So we had watched, I think, 5 episodes, maybe 6. There's only 8 episodes. And Netflix discontinued it. And so I knew what happened in the end because I had read the book, but hubby didn't. So then they put it back on Netflix this month. So if you want to watch something interesting, I will tell you this. The book is head and shoulders better. I don't want to give the premise away, but there's so much more to the book. So if you're looking for a good read and you don't want the torture and the blood and gore, read 11/22/63 from Stephen King. But anyway, it's on Netflix, so we watched that. And I'll tell you about some of the other things that we're watching. It's down in my list, but we're just trying to get back to normal. I've been finishing a lot of things. I've been trying to focus on getting my things up and out. To me, I enjoy creating, but I want it finished. I don't want to just put it in a drawer. I'd like it to be out and about and people can see. So I haven't done much decorating. I did take the Christmas tree down right after Christmas. I have a smaller home. Hubby and I downsized, and I have 2 Christmas trees, one in the bedroom and one out here. And we had gotten a new couch, and it's causing no movement of the room. We've moved the TV to a different location, so we just really can't, there's not a lot of space for a tree. So I had it here in this dining area, and it was just time to take it down. It felt overwhelming. So I took that down in 26. My December went really well. Last time I was with you, I think it was right before Jingle Ball, and I did participate in Jingle Ball. I hope that some of you that I met are watching. And I'll give you my impression. That was my 3rd Jingle Ball. However, I had not participated in the first 2. The first one, I didn't know what I was doing. I had just started back cross-stitching after 35 years. And the second one, I had just gotten back from Europe on the exact date that the Jingle Ball started. And I thought that I could kind of get through my jet lag, but I don't think my mind was even thinking about the Jingle Ball at that point. So this year was my first year participating, and I got on Friday at 3 p.m. I think it's the first 3 p.m. Eastern. I think it's when we were allowed to get on. And they didn't start selling the products until 7. It was nice. I jumped into several rooms. When I went into several rooms, it felt like there were friends in those rooms that knew each other. So there was kind of a disconnect to somebody. They were very nice. Don't get me wrong. Everybody was very nice. But it was kind of a disconnect of, oh yeah, Jenny, remember when you blah, blah, blah. And if you don't explain what the blah, blah, blah is, the person that's not, or that wants to be involved in the group can't get involved because we don't know what you're talking about. So I felt like there was a lot of rooms that I jumped in. There were some rooms that were quite large, as I'm sure most of you guys saw. I would try and jump into a large room thinking, oh, that must be livelier, and because everybody's in there, and it would say there's too many people in that room, so it wouldn't let me in. So I wasn't real crazy about the stitchy rooms. I think if I do this again next year, I will probably jump in and maybe sit in quiet and listen. Obviously, you can be seen, so they'll know I'm there, and they'll probably ask about me. We're all a great community. I'm not trying to say that. It's just, if you go into a room that has 8 people and 7 of those people are friends and they're talking amongst things that they have experienced together, it's kind of odd. So I really loved the speed dating portion of the Jingle Ball. That's where you go one-on-one with someone. So you actually log in, you say, I want to, go to speed dating, and it pops up a person right there on your screen. You have a little less than 6 minutes to talk and chat and, just get to introduce yourselves. And if you want, you can extend the time. So there's an extend option to get to know. If you feel like you clicked with someone really well and you'd like to get to know them better, you could continue to extend and just be friends. And if not, then you say bye, and you, sure enough, if you say, are you ready to do again? And you say yes, another person will pop up. So I really like that because I felt like I was getting to know you one-on-one. So I think definitely if I do Jingle Ball again, I'll definitely do the speed dating portion because I did enjoy that. And then the 7 o'clock came and everybody jumped on to try and buy all of the charts. I did buy some things. I don't think I'm going to show you today because I probably don't have them right now. I just thought about them. I probably showed them in that first video. And if I did, I may extract from there and add it to this video. Depends on how long this video is. But I did purchase some charts. I'm so excited to get started. There was some hesitation for some folks. Some folks could not get on. So I think it just depends on your internet speed. You know, just luck of the draw. But because I was already on, I think I didn't experience any issues. So I did stay on from 3 to about 9, and by then I was down in my stitchy room in my desk chair. So it wasn't my stitchy chair, it wasn't my comfortable chair, and I was ready to get off. So that's another thing I need to figure out about Jingle Ball is how to do it comfortably. I wanted to be in my room. I wanted to you know, showcase my display cabinets or whatever. But it just, at the end of the weekend, I was tired of sitting there in my actual desk computer chair. So that's the Jingle Ball. I heard there's other balls like Spring Mingle that Lindy Stitches does. I may try one of those. They're supposed to be a little bit smaller. But I found it really cool. One thing I would say that I was not... that I felt like was a missed opportunity, let's put it that way, was they had meet and greets at the Jingle Ball. And so you would have Primrose Cottage, and then you would have hands-on design. And I loved that. I mean, that was cool, being able to see some of your designers talking directly to the camera at that exact moment. It wasn't a YouTube video. It was them talking to us. The only problem is if you had a class at the same time as those meet and greets were not recorded. And if you had a class and needed to go into the class, you actually missed the entire meet and greet, and there was no way to catch it. So someone said, oh, this person did such a wonderful job on the meet and greet. I was so excited to hear about her, and I thought, I can't even go back and watch it. So for me, one critique, you know, Primrose Cottage, Teresa, Kogut, hands-on design, they're all used to creating YouTube videos. I don't understand what's the problem with recording that meet and greet while they're doing it. I don't mean do a pre-meet and greet video. I mean, while you're there, just record. And that way, those of us that had a class won't be subject to missing out on getting to know our designers. So that's my one suggestion about the Jingle Ball. Christmas was uneventful. I did an advent calendar for my grandchildren. I decorated that little spinny advent calendar that you get from Hobby Lobby. That's a little tree, and I will put a video of that here. So I went down and I decorated that and got so excited with how cute it was and thought, you know, I want to add it into or incorporate it into my grandkids. It's Christmas, but I don't necessarily want to give it to the grandkids because I've got other kids in the family, or I'm hoping to have other kids in the family, and I want to, you know, involve them as well. So we took it over to my daughter's house, and the grandkids were able to open the advent calendar every day. The problem is, y'all, my advent calendar is 25 days. And I have 2 grandkids at this time. My third should be born in June. So that, y'all, I spent most of December, I would buy 5 gifts and I'd say day 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Well, I'd hand that over to Mama because they opened their gift every morning before school and they would videotape for me. And I'll put a clip of that here.
What day are we on? 9?
We already asked this question in the car. It's day 9, Dad.
Christmas is bookish?
Bookish,
Ooh,
okay.
Nana is running out of things.
Everything else is funny.
Oh!
What?
Would you rather?
Is that SpongeBob?
So they would, you know, start, I'd send those 5 gifts over and then I'd go out looking for 5 more gifts. And I have a 10-year-old grandson and a 5-year-old granddaughter. And it's just like, okay, the grandson would like this and 50 gifts. 50. I mean, you know, I gave, like my grandson, he loves those chocolate orange balls that you can get at World Market. Delicious. I gave him one of those. I gave her Whoppers because she loves little Whopper candy. I gave her bracelets, and then I was trying to think, okay, can a boy wear, you know, a cross necklace? Or it was constant me going, okay, I'm going to go to Five Below. I'm going to go to Home Goods. I'm going to go to Kirkland's, get an ornament, get this, order an ornament from online, get a picture of me and Gabi, which is my husband, with the child, and print that out and put that as a gift. It was a constant joy for me, but boy, was it stressful. Mama would call up and she'd say, hey Mom, what is day number 14? What I did in that little advent calendar is it has little drawers, and so I would stick a piece of paper in there and I'd say Christmas is Jesus, or Christmas is family, or Christmas is lit. And the lit one, when the kids didn't know, I was kind of giving them a hint. And the lit was a little light bulb drink. So it had a straw. It looked like a light bulb, a Christmas light bulb. It was red and green, and it had a straw, and you could drink out of it. And the bottom lit. And so Christmas was lit on that one. Christmas was memories. Christmas was fun. Taking them to the trampoline park, you know, after school one day. So just things like that were playful. They enjoyed it. I enjoyed it so much, and I'm hoping to do, I didn't get a video for Mom and Dad every day, but I'm hoping to do a video for the kids so that they can have it in their arsenal, my 2 grandbabies, for later on, and they can show their families. So I did that. The advent calendar was so much fun. Otherwise, Christmas was quiet. This year I didn't have my son. We have a weird family dynamic or family agreement on holidays. I've told you about this before. One year I get Thanksgiving, and that year I don't get Christmas. And this year I didn't get Christmas. However, our 2 daughters are local. Their families are local, so they give us Christmas Eve. So I partially get my kids on the off year. And Christmas was off for me this year. So my son went to Missouri, and then our 2 daughters came over for Christmas Eve. This time we had a really nice meal of steaks. It was actually, we went over to my oldest daughter's house this year. It was just delicious. We had the best time. I love playing games. Our family has always loved playing games. So we just had a really, really wonderful time. And this year at Christmas, we had a surprise for our 5-year-old granddaughter. It wasn't for me and Gabi. It was from Mom and Dad, and they were getting her a new kitten. My daughter's cat is 16. He's been in kidney failure since he was 11, maybe 10, right before he turned 11. And he has defied all the odds. But he is 16. He's getting elderly, and she thought she could ease his passing. We don't know when it's going to be. Obviously, he's in good health. He's just very thin. And so she wanted to get her a kitten. Well, I got to keep the kitten for a week, and my husband and I fell in love with her.
Wanted to get you to hear meow. Hi. What you talking for this morning?
She's so much fun. So we got to, that's why we went over to my daughter's house, because the kitten was at our house and we couldn't show the baby. And I'll show you the video here of my granddaughter getting her kitten.
That's beads.
Not for beeps.
What's in this box?
Maddie, open that top box.
Hold on, hold What do you think? What do you think? Are you gonna cry?
I'm gonna cry.
Do you love her? It's a little girl.
It's okay to cry happy tears.
Cry here. Oh, she's a baby, so she's wild.
Yeah, she will. She's not beep. She'll scratch.
Look. What do you think?
Wendy, I can see that Wendy's jealous.
Winnie loves her. She met Winnie met her last night. Yeah, they're gonna have to get used to it. He's not paying.
Watch this. Ready?
So the whole family loves her. My grandson loves her. She's so much fun. She put a lot of joy in the family, and it's not that they love their older kitty. It's just having a baby kitten is so much fun. So that was a really wonderful part of Christmas this year. All right, so I want to show you what I'm working on, and these are my notes, and this is a little off because I did do that other video. I have finished Teresa Kogut's We Are Blessed, but I have it as a whip. So I'm going to show you my current whips, and then I'll show you the Teresa Kogut one finished. I am working on Star Spangled Street by Primrose Cottage. You guys know, I've said it in a couple of videos, that I am going to do a lot of patriotic this year because of our 250th celebration of our nation, and I am trying to get those finished as well. I want them up and ready to go. And so I'm stitching this on light taupe. I did 14 count Ada. I did my Teresa Kogut We Are Blessed. I concentrated on that and it's finished. So I'll get back. This is the next thing I'm going to work on. So I'm really excited about this. It's going to be a little street, and I hope to either put it on a pillow or put it in a frame. So that is Primrose Cottage's Star Spangled Street. The next thing that I haven't quite started, but it is basically what I say I'm working on, is Celebration by Rosewood Manor. So I'm going to do Star Spangled Street heavily, and then this will be in between so I can at least get it started. I don't know if I'm going to be finished with this one in time. This one is massive. Several pages of this chart. Hopefully I've PDF'd it so I can get it in markup RXP. But anyway, this one's beautiful. She started, they have a stitch along called 13, hashtag 13 for the 250th. I believe. They started this in June. There's a stitch along with it of June of last year. It gave them 13 months to get this completed, and I just didn't have the pattern at the time. I needed the fabric, I needed all that stuff, and I just wasn't ready. So hopefully I'll get started on it. I'm not sure if I can finish it. I'm gonna stitch it on 32 count Mystic Belfast linen. So it's gonna be a nice, beautiful dark blue. I know it's in its bag. I apologize. I'll show you that as I get started on it, but it's the modeling. Let me get this out. The dark modeling, this is just going to be gorgeous. I love it. It's going to look like a nice dark sky. And I'm going to do basically all called for colors. So I'll get started on that. So those are my 2 current whips. And what I put down here as a whip, I've already finished. And I just finished it 3 nights ago. This is Teresa Kogut's We Are Blessed. The drum is Chantel 141's drum. And I did buy the whole kit. I wanted the drum. My husband saw it on YouTube and said, oh my gosh, you've got to stitch that. It's so cute. It was one of the thumbnails. And I went and looked it up. It was way more costly than I would have ever purchased, but it was Christmas, and he was like, let's get it for your Christmas present. So we don't really give each other Christmas presents. We've been married a long time. And so we'll buy what we want. And he goes, let's just get it and say it's a Christmas present. So I'm so excited about that. I have not painted my drum yet. Chantel said that she would give us the acrylic color. She was going to go match. Someone online has got her colors that she used. I like what she did. So I think I'm going to go out today, pick those up from Hobby Lobby, the exact colors that this person, and I can put that down below in the description. Of what colors they used for just acrylic paints from Hobby Lobby, and I'll put that in. So I'm so excited about this, and I absolutely love this stitch. I'm going to go ahead and just fold it. It's going to go, this is circular, and it will go on top of the drum, and I need to just paint the drum. And as you can see, I have made some changes. The USA is a very light blue on the actual chart. It's the color of the flowers, I think, and it was too light for me. I wanted the USA to pop. So I used the red that's in the pattern, the most dominant red, and then just outlined it in one of the off-white or white colors. I absolutely love it. Now let me talk to you a little bit about this pattern. This pattern goes over, I'm not going to show it to you, obviously, but it goes over 2 pages. So part of the pattern's over here, little small portion of the pattern's over here. The problem with this printing is the pattern, the small portion of the pattern over here is dropped down 2 rows. So first of all, when you scan it and then try and get it into Markup RXP, it did not pull in properly. I'm sure it was something that I did. I tried it a couple of times and it would cut off a portion of the left side of the chart. It would cut off a portion. So therefore I had to open the chart in order to see what I was stitching. And then the right side of the chart is dropped down. So the chart starts here on the left side, but it starts here on the right side. So you're literally having to count down. I had to look across 30, you know, at the grid. And then I would go here and I'd find the 30 on the grid, and then I'd try and count. It was a lot of frogging because of that, because I would continue to mess up. It's mainly the flag. I think I know the USA and I know the 6s are both on each side of the chart, so you have to be very careful. But all in all, I think it turned out beautifully. I think I could have stitched it a lot quicker if the chart was, you know, seamless across the seam, and if I could have got it to work correctly in Markup RX. But it's beautiful. I love it. I have to say, because of that, some of the white is cream, some of the cream I used white on accident, but I think it looks beautiful. Also, I stitch better with a hoop. I stitch X's with a hoop, let's put it that way. So there's some, you know, in here that I'm not real happy with, especially white. I think we all hate stitching with white, but I don't care. I think it's gorgeous. So I'm going to go again today, get the paints. I'll start working on the drum and I'll show you that on the next video. So those are my whips. I was stitching last time with you, my Prairie Schooler 2020. And when I was stitching him, y'all, I had his fabric in my whip package. And notice I had 2 Prairie Schoolers already finished there that I hadn't even cut away from the fabric. And so that's when I thought, I'm going to start finishing these. I'm trying to do a Prairie Schooler Christmas tree out by my foyer, and it'd be all Prairie Schoolers or cross stitch. And I thought, okay, I'm going to get this. I'm going to start doing this better. So I immediately went down there when I was done with 2020, and I finished it along with a few other finishes. So this was a whip last time. It is now a finished piece and a fully finished piece, except I haven't done the back. I will get to that, I promise. They've been up here. I like to always sign my backs in case somebody tears it apart. But I just need to take them downstairs and do a better job, or finish them, completely finish them, and then I'll put them away for Christmas. Okay, so finishes. I showed you that one. I also finished, this is some of the ones that were, I just hadn't even cut them away from the fabric. So Prairie Schooler 2023, this is stitched on 18 count putty. I am now stitching all of my Prairie Schoolers on Vintage Country Mocha 18 count Ada. I wasn't crazy about the putty color, but I had already stitched this. I'm not going to change it. So I'll have, I think I have 2 in putty, maybe a little bit more. I put this up here so that when you join the seam, you couldn't see it. This I got from, I believe, Hobby Lobby. I'm going to look today and see if I can find some more of that robe. I love the naturalness of it. But there's my 2009 Santa. I also did a fully finished object on Santa 2011. Again, I used some foliage to hide the seam of the jute rope. 2011 Santa, Vintage Country Mocha. And it looks like one of my things fell off, so I've got to glue that back on. The last thing I did, or last one I finished, was the 2012 Santa. And I'll do the back finish on there as well. My goal is to finish one Santa a month, meaning stitch it, and then I'll go down at some point and do an overall finish of several of them. So I'm going to try and do a Prairie Schooler Santa once a month, which will give me an additional 12 Santas. It is now January 15th, and I have not started one this month. We are going away at the end of the month. I think I have that listed to talk about. And so I'm hoping that I can take, to me, they're a quick, easy stitch. So I'm hoping I can take 1 or 2 with me, stitch in the car on the way down if it's not too bumpy. You know, stitch at night in the room, and then be able to come back with hopefully 2. So we'll see. But that's my goal. One of my goals for this year is to stitch a Prairie Schooler a month and try and get, I have, I believe, every single one of the charts. I got them in books. Some I got single. And I'm just hoping to kind of catch up to where you guys have been all these 40 years. So get those done. Okay, so I did that. Also, I did my stand-up Santa from Hands On Design. I did this for the Jingle Ball, and I absolutely loved Kathy and Bill's finishing tutorial. I'm the one that cut the bottom off, so if you were in that class and she said, Tracy, you cut the bottom off, she helped me get it back to where she thinks it's going to look okay, so it'll be folded under here. I used a poinsettia fabric. I did not buy the kit. And so I am hoping that I can get this done. The reason why I haven't done it yet is I felt like my curve was off. I am not a seamstress. I have never sewn. I've told you this before. I am learning to sew as I'm finishing. My bestie came over and she was looking at it and she said, Tracy, I really think once it's stuffed, this oddness right here will go away. So I'm going to go ahead and finish this, put the bottom on it, and hopefully I'll have it fully finished the next time you guys see me. But it's Stand Up Santa, Hands On Design. I can't wait to see him completely done. So he'll be, hopefully, this month is starting to get busy, so hopefully I can have him done either before the next video or right after, and I'll show you guys that. Another finish that I'm working on, I'm going to put this, I believe, in a white frame. This is my Brenda Gervais Land of Liberty. I like this background. I just need to put it in my frame. This is going with me to Hobby Lobby today. I did do I did make my own rope using the cry neck. And I loved this tassel. This is not stuck on, so I'm holding the 2. So if you see it drop, don't worry. I loved the tassels, but now that I've decided this backing, I'm not sure if I like them. I don't care. I'm sticking with it. I mean, you know, I'm not a professional. But I'm going to put this, I believe, in a white frame. So I have a blue framed Primrose Cottage. I have a frame I'm about to show you that's black. I'm hoping to find a white frame for this. And then eventually I'll have a red frame of something else that I'm stitching. I'll just have to get it figured out. Brenda Gervais, Land of Liberty. She was finished a while ago. I'm just trying to do fully finished to her. And my last fully finished is Primrose Cottages All American. I used red striped fabric that I got at Hobby Lobby, maybe Walmart. Stitched this on Vintage Country Mocha in probably 32 linen. And then I framed it myself. So I got to thinking, you know, I love taking things to the framer, but I kind of like no glass and I like it to pop. I love to have the batting behind it. And I was like, I got this frame at Goodwill for $7.99. And I like the rough edging of it. So I thought it looked really nice. I'm really excited that I'll have this patriotic as well. And that's Primrose Cottage All American. I had to look it up and check. Okay, for U-Haul, for my haul, I did get since December, I did get the drum from Chantel's 141 and Teresa Kogut, so I finished that. And of course, I always get the fancy floss of the month. My bestie gave me a couple of fabrics I'm so excited to stitch on. She got these from 5 Stitch, which is like 1, 2, 3 stitch, but it's 5. Look at how beautiful this is. 14 count Aida. And I think when you make an order off of 5 Stitch, you can get one large size fabric for $1.99 and one smaller sized fabric for 99 cents each order you make. And so she got me this one. Look how beautiful this is. Again, 14 count Aida, which is so easy to stitch on, people. I hate to be that girl, but I am. I do stitch on linen, but boy, Aida's easy. So 14 count Aida, 5stitch.com. Again, if you order something, you can get a 99 cents piece of fabric or a $1.99 piece of fabric, or both, I believe. So thank you, bestie. Okay, so what else is going on? This month, I am intermittent fasting and I am exercising daily. Today is a cold day. Chances are I won't get outside to walk. I think it's going to 40, so I may try once the temperature heats up. I prefer to walk. If I can't, I get on my YouTube and type in yoga for seniors, exercise for seniors, dancing for seniors. I don't have to do seniors. I mean, I am a senior now, but I do it depending on whether my knees are hurting or whether my arthritis is hurting. So I just get out there and kind of look for a video. There's a few that I really enjoy, and I'll do 20 to 30 minutes of an exercise, kind of aerobic video. So I've been doing that since the new year started. I did intermittent fasting in 2024, and I did really well on it. I felt good. My mind was clear. You know, I had stopped all the snacking because when you fast, you set a time frame of when your eating window is open. And I had gotten into a bad habit of snacking, you know, at 10 o'clock at night. And I mean, the pounds can get put on so easily and so quickly. So I did that in 24, and my mom passed away in September of 24. And I was still doing my exercise videos or walking, and I was still intermittent fasting. And then as we went to Europe, it just kind of fell to the wayside. Wow, it's so weird to think that I kept thinking, that's 2 years ago? No, it's a year and a month ago because I went into Europe in December of 24. It just kind of fell to the wayside. And in 25, I just did not get back to intermittent fasting. I still exercise, but not on a regular basis. So January was my commit 30 of intermittent fasting and exercising daily, and I have not broke it. Today is January 15th, so pray for me, wish me luck. I can tell you with intermittent fasting, again, I feel clearer in my thinking. I feel energized. I don't feel as sluggish. So for me, it works. I really enjoy it. Okay, so what have I been watching? What have I been reading? What is my favorite thing? Those are the next things we're going to talk about. I've been watching, we finished Stranger Things. We started, of course, we've watched Stranger Things from the beginning, but with that 3.5 year span between 4 and 5, we started rewatching from season 1, hubby and I, sometime mid-December, and we just continued on and continued on. We know that it came out in November. You got Thanksgiving in the United States. We got 4 episodes, but we started watching from season 1 sometime mid-December, knowing that 3 episodes were coming out on Christmas. So we watched that heavily and got up to season 5 by Christmas Day. And I think we started probably the 26th, started watching season 5. And then, of course, the very last one came out on New Year's Day. So we kind of timed it to where it wouldn't be something we'd have to wait a month for or a week for. We just kind of timed it perfectly to be able to watch it. So we did finish Stranger Things. I think it ended better, let's say, than Game of Thrones, much better than Game of Thrones and Lost, if you're old like me and know those shows. So enjoyed it, had a lot of holes for us, a lot of rolling of the eyes, but we did enjoy it. We're also watching Landman. That is coming out right now, episode per episode. So there's not, the second season is not completely out. I know there was one Sunday. I'm not sure how many episodes were in to this season. So unfortunately, hubby and I are waiting for that each week. Love that show. I'm also watching A Discovery of Witches, and I believe it's also on Netflix. I think all of these are on Netflix. I read that book and absolutely loved it. I've not been real crazy about the series, but I'm going to continue to watch it. We started 1 episode of the new season of Tulsa King, which I think is the 3rd season. Maybe we're in 2 episodes. We're going to get back to that. Also, I watched, guys, on Netflix, Jody Hildebrand, Evil Influencer. I don't think Netflix is very honest in their documentaries. It should be a docudrama. But I did enjoy that. I do believe most of it is accurate. That's hard to watch. There was a lot of police talking about what they saw, and that's hard to watch, but it's a good one. And because I have started into watching trials, I like the trials. I'm not quite into the murder. I thought it was something I kind of want to know. I know that her and Ruby Frankie have pled guilty. There won't be a trial, but I was just interested in mainly what the cops were saying. Also, if you have Netflix and you enjoy just a good watch, Death by Lightning. Death by Lightning is about our 20th president here in the United States, James Garfield. I think his first name was James. James Garfield was a man who accidentally became president by presenting a wonderful speech amongst his peers. And the next thing you know, he was nominated, and they did things a little bit differently back then than we do today. And so it's an interesting documentary. We did, or an interesting show, Death by Lightning. We did Google James Garfield. Unfortunately, if you Google him today, I don't think I'm giving anything away. He was our president for a very short time, and it's actually, he's known as one of our forgetful presidents because it was such a short window of his presidential time. So we Googled a lot, learned a lot, and most of it's accurate on that docuseries. So it's called Death by Lightning. As far as YouTube, I'm watching, of course, Stitching with the Housewives every Saturday. I love watching, as you know, Chris the Camping Stitcher. Helen D is wonderful, especially because she gives us how-tos. Nicole Spohr is wonderful because she gives us how-tos. They're both very joyful. I watched Erin Elizabeth and Nicole Spohr's Vlogmas this year, and actually, guys, it was kind of like it made my day. I hate to say it, but it was, I don't hate to say it, it was kind of looking forward to. You know, you're like, oh good, Aaron's Vlogmas has come up, or Nicole's Vlogmas has come up. And of course I've got designer women out there that do their homes, that do Vlogmases as well. I can watch those. But I was so excited. So I'm hoping next year I can find more cross-stitchers that do Vlogmas that just kept us, you know, entertained for however many. I think Aaron did 12 days, and God bless Nicole, I think she did 25 days. That woman is an overachiever. She is, my granddaughter is going to be her. So thoroughly enjoyed those. Of course, I've watched 1, 2, 3 Stitch. I love watching her. She does how-tos on, you know, if you want your stitch to look this way, try this needle, so I love the problem solving with 1, 2, 3 Stitch. And I watched Chantel's 141. I just think she seems so down to earth and fun, and just kind of, hey guys, you know, I've got a shop, here's what we're doing. So there's so many more. My main entertainment is YouTube, so I've got a variety of things that I watch. Cruising and vacationing and house maintenance and, you know, how to decorate a home. And so there's a lot of videos that I watch. Reading. Last year, guys, I set a goal of 25 books in my Goodreads, and I made it to 37. So I tried really hard. I think I tried really hard to finish my last book and make it to 38, but Stranger Things took precedent. I find that when I'm here by myself, I think I would prefer to listen to a book. I'm an Audible reader. I'm an overachiever, and I have guilt if I sit and just indulge in a book. It's like, well, Tracy, in fact, right now you can probably hear my oven cleaning itself. Tracy, you've got to clean the oven. Oh, you haven't cleaned your toilets in 3 days, or actually it's a week. I clean them every week. But it's hard for me to sit here and enjoy an actual book. So when I have an Audible book in, then while I'm cleaning an oven, my top oven self-cleans, my bottom oven I have to clean. When I'm cleaning that oven, if I have my buds in, or if my husband's not home, I won't even put my buds in and just sit there and listen to that book. And I'll tell you this, guys, I don't know, I'm highly involved in I'm not involved in politics. I watch politics, and I think it's too negative. So I have set it aside. I think it's my desire for information, not necessarily politics, just information. I want to be informed. And it can, you know, it's too negative, and it can ruin your day, or it can make you worry. So I've started reading books. I've started choosing books over watching something that may try and fire me up. So, and I know that they all do that. Doesn't matter which side you're on, they're trying to fire us up. So I was able to read 37 books. My goal, again, was 25, and I was so proud of myself. The one that I was reading when I did my January 6th video was Sarah J. Maas's Empire of Storms, which is, I believe, book 5 in her Throne of Glass series. I think I'm about to go to book 6. I am taking a break. Her books are getting longer and longer, and she keeps incorporating new characters, and I know she's building a world. But I kind of would like to be more focused on I mean, she does focus on these core, but then she brings in villains, and, you know, so I just needed a break. I finished that. I have read, in one day, it was 9 hours, Audible book. I got it from the library. It was the #1 book, Audible book of the library. So I decided to listen. 9 hours. I finished it in a day. It was that interesting. It's Freida McFadden's The Housemaid. It says it's book #1. I didn't know there was a #2 until I started putting my notes down for this video. So I'm going to go back to the library and see if I can find if there's a book #2. I kind of figured that one out toward the end, but I still really enjoyed it. I am currently reading Nora Roberts' Inheritance. Just started that yesterday. I'm about 14% in. And right now I'm kind of like, let's move this along. So I guess she's setting the stage, but I kind of just want to get in there. So that's about what I'm reading and what I'm stitching on. Did I show you everything? I think I did. Oh, I do want to show you if I have time, and if I don't, I'm going to cut this out and save it for the next video. But I want to show you my kits. So I thought Nicole Spore's plastic bags of her kits was a great idea. And so if you go to Nicole Spore, she gets an affiliate link, I believe, but she shows these hanging bags that are clear, and I can hang them in my closet. Now, I have a coffee table that the two sides lift up, and I can put my cross stitch in there. I don't stitch in my studio. It's downstairs in the basement. I'm not going to sit. It's not heated or air conditioned. So I stitch up here with hubby. And so I put most of my cross stitch in that coffee table, and it was starting to get too full. Also, when you put your cross stitch in one of these, it's not quite as easy to see the chart or what you're working on. So you're kind of picking it up and seeing what it is. So I went with these. I love that they hang up again because I can hang them in my closet. And when I go to decide, oh, I want to stitch this, I can see it easily. Put my threads in, put it in my fabric. This one doesn't have its fabric yet because I don't know what fabric she used. It's not on her chart. But this is Shannon Christine Designs Halloween Party that I have kitted up, ready to go. These are some of the things I hope to stitch in 2026. I have, of course, you know I'm doing patriotic. I have Lizzie Kate's Liberty Sam. I got the kit for this one. So it has all the bits and pieces, and I've already got the floss in there. So it's ready to go. It looks like I'm stitching it on 32 count. If not, it's even smaller. I hope to finish that. Again, I'm doing a lot of patriotic. Shannon Christine Designs Home of the Free. I'm stitching this on taupe, and I believe it's on 32 count. And it's all ready to go. How cute is that? So I'm going to start my Rosewood Manor. I'm going to finish up my Primrose Cottage, Stars and Stripes Street. I think that's what it's called. And then I'll probably start this one. I got Matilda from my Annabella's at my Disney retreat last year, and I got her whole kit. So she's ready to go. And that was Annabella's at the Disney retreat last year. I took this evergreen stitch, and it was a free stitch, and I bought the flosses for it. I got the floss, I believe that's what those flosses are for. And so I'm going to try and stitch that sometime this year. My bestie gave me the fresh lemonade stitch and the entire kit. So hopefully I can get to that maybe during the spring. See how easy this is? I mean, you can just see everything. Red, White, and Boom from Stitching with the Housewives. Looks like I'm stitching that on black Ada. That should be a quick stitch. I may take that with me on vacation. This one is Meet Me at the Pumpkin Patch by Stitching with the Housewives. These are all my kits. I ordered this probably two winters ago. Winter by Sayings of the Seasons with Stitching with the Housewives. I also ordered the entire kit. So hopefully I can get started on that. 12 monthly minis. Let's face it, I probably won't get started on this. But I do have it completely kitted. It's going to be stitched on, I believe, Vintage Country Mocha, or I may do the taupe. I'm trying to keep most of my fabrics very similar. And the last one that I kitted up is a cute little Bobby G Designs Born to be Wild for our camper. Hubby is hoping to retire this year, and if he does, we're going to get in the camper and start seeing the United States for several months a year. All right, so my future plans are I'd like to shave my legs at least every week. That happened yesterday, January 14th. I'm not doing well with that. Have you guys heard of We Do Not Care Club? I exercise daily. That's my future plans. I'm doing well. Intermittent fasting, I'm doing well. I would like to stitch between the hours of 7 to 9. Hubby gets up at 3:30 a.m. to still go to work. And I tend to sneak back there with my iPad and I stay up until 10:30 just kind of playing games and messing, looking at Facebook without anything making any noise, so he can sleep. And I'm trying to stay out here and stitch from 7 to 9 just to have that productivity time. I haven't done it 100% yet this month, and it's not on my commit 30 anyway, but I would like to get into the habit. I would like to, as I said earlier, stitch and finish one Prairie Schooler Santa per month. If I get started on that this month and make that successful, it will be the 2018 Santa is the one that I'm going to go for. And it's kitted up. I just don't have it. It's in my stitchy chair. I would like to stitch and finish a Christmas ornament for each of my our grandchildren going forward. And I had a great-grandmother it was my great-grandmother that did these sequined ornaments for us as gifts. And when my mom, decided to start giving them to her kids as we got married, we were all able to choose a few of those ornaments each time we got married. And they're still treasured ornaments on our tree today. So they're, 80, at least 80 years old. Maybe not quite that old. So I'd like to do that for my grandkids, something that they'll be proud to display on their tree, something that I probably stitch, but not something cute that would, go away with the times, like SpongeBob SquarePants in a Christmas outfit. I would like to do maybe a Prairie Schooler Santa or something like that for them. So those are my future plans. Now, I always talk about my favorite things on these videos. I'd like to keep that up. I'd love to hear your thoughts on what your favorite things are. Let's make this a conversation, okay? That's what we're doing, is looking for friendships, besties, stitchy pals. So let's do that and chat down below in the comments. But my favorite things this month are skinny syrups. Have you guys heard of these? I started with Tirani syrups when I decided I couldn't take sugar anymore. I shouldn't have that much sugar. I started with Tirani syrups and ended up going to Home Goods, and they had skinny syrups before she got popular. So I think people sell to Home Goods at a lower price as they're building up their businesses, and now she's got a really great business. But it's skinnymixes.com, I believe is the URL, is the website, and it's sugar-free syrups that I put into my coffee. This is vanilla, salted caramel, mocha. I mean, you wouldn't believe, you can make all kinds of mock cocktails with her syrups. But this is what I have to avoid sugar in my coffee in the morning. When you intermittent fast, you cannot have anything that's got caloric, during your fasting period. It can't really have any calories. So if I do a hot tea with my skinny syrups and drink that to kind of satiate my need for something to snack on, I can do that while I fast. So I can't have a coffee because I like creamer, but I can have a tea. So they are just great little, sweetened, artificially, of course, syrups that I put into my drinks. This one here is the Meyer Lemon Raspberry, and the reason why I'm showing you that is because I use the sugar-free Country Time lemonade packets, and I'll put one packet in there, and then I'll just top it off with a little bit of this Meyer lemon, and it makes it delicious. So that's how I get my water in daily. So skinnymixes.com, and you'll see the whole thing. Not paid, just telling you what my favorite things are. So I think that's it. I hope this has recorded completely. I hope you enjoyed this video. I'll go ahead and add in those other videos that I told you about, and I hope you guys have a great January. My future in January is 2 children of mine are born on the same day, 1 minute apart. My son was born January 22nd of 1986, and my daughter was born January 22nd of 1988, 2 years apart. And my son was at 9:18 p.m. and my daughter was at 9:16 p.m. and my daughter was born at 9:15 a.m. So, and they have a cousin that my mom's first 3 grandkids were born on the exact same day. So they have a cousin that was born on that day as well, in the year in between. So we are going on a cruise because my son is turning 40, our daughter is turning 38, and we wanted to do something special for our son's 40th. He picked the cruise, So that's going to be at the end of this month, and the grandbabies are going. We're just so looking forward to it. And that's going to be my January, and hopefully that's why I said hopefully I can get some stitching done, driving down, stitching done, driving back. So I look forward to seeing you guys. In February. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your January, and we'll chat then. Thank you, besties. See you soon. Bye.